Hello everyone, we're here at the CMA Songwriters Series at the Indigo and I'm joined by Miss Laura Veltz. How you doing, Laura?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too.
Welcome to the O2 for
Thank
C2C. You must have been looking forward to this for quite a while.
I was, and I am. I still am. I kind of can't believe I'm here.
Yeah. How long are you in the UK for?
I'll be here till Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, I'm writing tomorrow, so I have I'm doing a little work while I'm here.
Nice. You gonna have any time to kind of explore and have a look around?
I need to. It's been an interesting jet lag experience so far, but I feel like I caught up. Like I waited to go to sleep and I got my full 8 hours, so I feel like now's the time. I'm ready to go.
And we've got an amazing lineup tonight. We've got yourself, Jimmy Allen, Cam, Travis, Ross. So have you worked with any of these guys previously before? I imagine Ross particularly would be well known to you in the songwriting circle.
I know him very well. We haven't written very much. We wrote a long time ago, but we haven't written. But Cam, I'm super excited to see. We've written a song together, and Travis and I haven't written, and Jimmy and I haven't written. So this is going to be a fun night.
Friendships being made.
Yes,
I like
that's
it.
Right.
So for anybody out there watching this who maybe isn't too familiar with your songwriting background, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the world of songwriting?
Sure. I was in a band for 10 years, and I traveled through Nashville a couple times with my band, and we would go to songwriter rounds, and I was just completely taken with the story process and how crafted everything was. I mean, I wasn't raised on country music, so it was new to me. And at the end of the band run, I was really interested in just writing songs, and I called a friend who was a Hall of Fame songwriter, and I was like, what do I do? I think I want to do what you do. And she just said, well, come down and see if you like co-writing. And I did, and I loved it. I was so addicted. I was like weepy and like kind of a weirdo about it, but I was like, this is what I meant to do. I don't know. I just felt very emotional, connected.
Tell us about how the publishing deal came about, because when people use the term big break, like that applies to you more than anybody else, doesn't it? It's quite unusual how you got the publishing deal.
Yeah, it's kind of wacky. I feel like, the best thing to expect when you move to Nashville is to wait tables for a really long time, bartend, do what you got to do, and just write. And then eventually you find somebody who gives a shit about you. And I met a man named Mike Molinar, who has just always been my champion, and he's my publisher to this day. And he wasn't with a publishing company at the time, so we ended up finding a collaborator in Warner Chappell, and I had a deal, and I couldn't believe anybody wanted to pay me to write songs. I mean, I knew that was coming at some point, but it happened, within 4 years of moving to Nashville.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And the first big hit came with Drunk Last Night, Eli Young Band, 2013.
Yeah.
So when that happens, that must be a huge change to the life of a songwriter, because I would imagine that your songs suddenly become in demand at that point. Would that be accurate?
No. I feel like when you have early success, you don't have the catalog to back up.
Right.
And it just happened early. And truly, like when I tell new writers, like, if your big dream is just to write with a big writer so you have a hit, it's kind of a curse a little bit, because you have to wait until everything catches up. The reason they call it a 10-year town is because you have the catalog to build, like you have enough songs where if you have a hit, the interest in the rest of your catalog is right there, and the song quality is good. For me, I think that was like the first excellent song I ever wrote. And, everything to that point was just me learning how to write a song. So it took a little while, and in the best way. To me, I feel like I got used to things. I had a hit a year later with Chris Young, so it was nice and spread out, and then 2 years later, some more stuff happened, and then and now it's snowballing, because I've been in Nashville 11 years, so it's it is a 10-year town, turns out.
And you just mentioned the Chris Young song, Lonely Eyes, and that song, obviously it was huge back home, but it's had a life of its own over here as well.
Really?
The fans, like you watch Chris Young live over here, they love that song in particular.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So give us a little insight into that song and how that came about, if you wouldn't mind.
I don't mind at all. That song was written at a time when I was falling in love with my now husband, and I think when we were going to write a song about eyes, and I'm not sure, we landed on the word lonely kind of later in the write, but I was really obsessed with where people's eyes go when you're falling in love with them. It's like you notice everything. Like if they look at their watch, you're like, oh God, and, if they look somewhere at another girl or whatever, you're so concerned. And I just was really interested in where eyes go when you're interested in someone. And you kind of don't care where eyes go if you're not interested in someone. But that second verse is definitely like me, understanding what that feels like.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now, I just asked this question to Ross. I said to him, do you ever write with specific artists in mind, or do you just write what you think is a good song? And he said that he quite often does write for specific artists, but how do you feel about that? Is it just like best song wins, or do you have, Chris Young in mind when you're writing?
Right. It really depends. I feel like every time I try to aim, it doesn't really happen. When you're writing with an artist, that makes it easier, but writing for an artist, I think we were thinking of Chris Young because one of my co-writers, Johnny Bulford, is like close friends with him, and so anytime you write with him, you're kind of like, I wonder if this would be good for Chris Young, But yeah, it's not common that I'm aiming. I feel like it's more like, let's just write a quality song.
Yeah. And we must touch on Maren Morris as well, because you had, was it 4 co-writes on the first album? Yes. You got 5 on the new one, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
And that first album was such an iconic album.
Huge.
It's been huge all over the world. So to be asked to be a part of that again must be a huge honour for you.
I can't even put it into words. Maren and I are close friends, but she's not a beholden type of a girl. She really will write with people that she knows she's going to get good stuff out of, and we have a kinship. We understand songs together. I don't think any of our songs have taken longer than 2 or 3 hours to write. We understand how the other one ticks, and I'm completely honored and blown away. This next record is going to blow minds. It's so good.
She's taking over the world at the moment.
Oh,
I
know.
It's crazy.
It's like, is anything going to say no to her? I don't know. Nothing seems to.
That's amazing. And she's just released The Bones,
yes.
which you're a part of. So tell us a little bit about that one. It's a very special song.
Huge song for me. That idea was mine. I think I was like, probably watching a lot of like house shows at the time. But it's something people say when you're, looking for a house. The Bones are good. And I wrote that down, and she's always going to like the weird titles that are, my weird titles. She's always interested in those. And I don't know. It was a really special day. Song was done really quickly. We just, it's always been easy.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, thank you for doing this. We appreciate your time. Enjoy the show tonight. What can we expect from it? You're going to do just loads of hits?
Oh, gosh.
Get everybody singing along?
I think probably I should. I'm so tempted to just do all the stuff that I'm excited about that's coming out, but I'm going to play the hits, and then I'll play some songs that I'm just really thrilled about.
Looking forward to it. Well, enjoy the rest of the time in the UK, Laura, and
so
we'll
much.
hopefully catch up with you very soon.
Thank you very much.